For the first time since October of 2024, I have opened a long position on Nvidia. My goal with this video is to explain to you what that position was, the exact options that I followed, and the technical setup that is currently in play. Now, if you want the indicators, if you want the step-by-step strategy completely for free, then go ahead and check out the link in the description. I will show you with no bullshit, no let me get your credit card, you got to sign up for this, like none of that. Our entire system is completely free down in the description. But the only thing I ask from you is that you go through it in sequential order. You don't just try to extract one or two things without getting the full understanding of it. And this strategy is what allowed us to get out of Nvidia back here in November, call the top, and watch this thing drop 42% in 133 days. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and watch all of the videos that I've been putting out on Nvidia for the past couple of months. The narrative has stayed the same because the system has stayed the same. Now, the reason I entered Nvidia long, even though this might be a little bit early, is for a couple of reasons. The first one is the technical setup. The BX trender today, Friday, May 2nd, closed green for the first time since September of 2024. The last time this happened, price rallied 30% in 60 days. Prior to that, price ran in the same exact setup, 34%, and then prior to that one, we had a 100% run. And even if we go all the way back here to end of 2022 into 2023, we had an even bigger rally. But I don't really count those two because those types of moves are not normal. I'm not saying that that cannot happen now, but it would definitely surprise me. Now, this BX trender turning green is very important because it means that institutional buyers are actually stepping in since they are the ones who can actually move the stock. I feel a lot of people get lost when I say institutional buyers because it's not like the BX is showing us some sort of flow, which we will get into in a moment, or some sort of tape. But instead, what it is showing is buying pressure and relative strength in the stock. And the only people who can move the market, and especially something with as big as a market cap as Nvidia, is going to be institutions. It's not you and me. It's hedge funds, whales, etc. And so when this BX trender flips, it's normally a very good sign that price is ready to rally. Now, one of the things that has made me a bit hesitant about this is this potential head and shoulders pattern that could be forming. A head and shoulders pattern forms when we get a massive breakout followed by a pullback, not to a higher low, but to an equal low. This is very important because this $90 support is going to show up multiple times here. Once price bounces off of that equal low, it will not hit an equal high. Instead, it will normally make a higher high. This is going to normally be where the trap sets in and occurs. This is why back here in November, especially when that BX trender closed red, I decided to walk away and not touch this whatsoever. From there, price sold off, as we all know, 44% to come back down, you guessed it, to that $90 support. Now, this support level is very, very important. Number one, it's going to be a liquidity zone, but number two, it's going to be the neck in the head and shoulders. So think of the head and shoulder as the first bounce is the shoulder, the second bounce is the head because it's higher than the shoulder, and then the third bounce is normally going to be lower than the head, which is going to be your opposite shoulder. Now, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. Sometimes it'll look like this. I know that's silly, but price will not come back up into that equal high. Instead, maybe it will only come up to here before selling off. But in most cases, price will meet that prior left shoulder, which means that we have, in my opinion, pretty easily a target of about $138 to $140, which from this point here gives us about a 24% move to the upside. That was the first reason that I decided to enter. The second reason is because we had a lot of unusual call buying that happened on Nvidia just a couple of days ago. I posted this within the Discord community that an Alpha Gold alert hit Black Box yesterday. These calls expired on May 23rd, which is going to be a couple of weeks from now. So not super short term like a day trade, but definitely a shorter term swing trade. This was for a massive amount of money, $3.67 million. Now, if we're talking about shares and normal daily volume, 3 million is nothing. But in the options market, 3 million is a lot of money, especially because the amount of slippage that you have to pay just to get in and out of that trade. And that was nearly 8,000 contracts. So this person is expecting Nvidia to move very quickly within the next 2 weeks. which is before earnings. And these were the exact calls that I decided to follow. Now, with all of that said, I need to be honest here. I don't think that Nvidia is going to break out to all-time highs. My plan and what I'm looking to do is to see if this can break out within the next week, week and a half into this weekly market bias. You can see that this weekly market bias is always going to be a trend indication. What we want to do is trade when price is over this market bias, buying as price pulls back into support, and then when we're trading under this market bias, selling as we move into that resistance. And with that head and shoulders in play, with the monthly BX showing red, I'm not entirely expecting this move to push up into the 160s or 170s. My plan and what I think is going to happen is that price can move its way another 6 to 10% up to $130 before earnings. From there, fundamentally, it will be entirely up to earnings and, more importantly, guidance to see if we will push into all-time highs or, what I think is more likely, unfortunately, reject off of this $130 level and sell back off to $90. Now, things could change here if, as we're moving into that $130 resistance, we see a ton of buying in the options market and more buying pressure come in on the BX. But I feel that it's pretty safe to say with about 70% certainty that at least a $130 target will be hit within the next couple of weeks. Let me know what you guys think below. I'd love to hear your thesis, whether you think I'm right or wrong, and obviously do it respectfully. And more importantly, if you want to learn our trading system completely for free, check out the link down in the description. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.